Rob's Roundtable. What's up? Mike Story back again. He's your guy for all things betting, college football guy. He's our college football expert. Knows a little thing about the NFL.
A little bit. Rolling up the sleeves here because we were getting into running backs.
I'm the expert on men's physiques. Know all about that. We're getting into running backs here. We're going to do our top 5 running back ranks based off PFF and then maybe 3 or 4 others that we like. Who's your number 1 guy?
Jonathon Brooks. It's Jonathon Brooks.
Same here.
Did you watch him play?
Yes.
Stunning. Right?
He looks
Two-way
the part.
playmaker. Some of the big concerns, not big concerns, little concerns. He lacks some of the open field explosiveness that you would want, that you could, a lot of these guys that would take small gains into big explosive plays. So he vacillates between very patient, making the right decision, to just trying to make something happen right away. He cleans some of that up. He's going to be very good. He's a very deft pass catcher, and he just sat behind on the depth chart behind Marshawn Johnson and Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
So this was his time to shine. He's coming off an ACL, so there's some concerns.
November though.
Right. It was not early in the season, but with modern medicine, I think he'll probably be ready for training camp. If not, he'll definitely be ready for the start of the season.
You know why I'm not worried about him for his ACL? Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles after, and he just signed a $200 million contract at age 36. Okay? Yeah. So I don't think maybe the first couple weeks he'll be a little bit neutered in his availability, right? In terms of his 30 touch games.
Yeah.
He's going to get them.
Brooks is a quick cut. He's a speedster kind of guy, so you're hoping that the ACL surgery doesn't sap some of that,
yeah.
Which I don't think it will. I really don't have any concerns. He's my number 1 running back in this class. He is not
by a mile, right?
But yes, he's in his tier by himself. I got 2 guys lumped in the next tier, and the thing is, those 2 guys are different profiles altogether.
So he's not that flashy, I'll say this. And if you go to the last couple of years, he's not Bijan Robinson.
Bijan is an outlier.
And he's
Gibbs is an outlier.
not going to go in the top 20.
Right. Jonathan Taylor is an outlier. So,
right.
But he may not go in the first round, and he's probably like a Swift early second round kind of guy.
6 foot 216, ran a 4.45. So like I said, nothing pops off the chart. He's not a master of anything. He's a jack of all trades.
Agreed.
I love that. He's going to come in right away and be a fucking workhorse. Love the Cowboys to get this guy, honestly. Who's your comps?
So my high end is Aaron Jones, because I do see a lot of their game very similar. And then my low end was Jerome Ford. I just changed it just before you turned the camera on, and I'm not even calling it a low end anymore. I'm calling it a half high end with him and Aaron Jones. It's Matt Forte.
Ooh, okay. You ready for mine? That you're going to be like, I'm pissed I missed this.
Yeah.
Todd Gurley.
Oh, okay.
See, I knew you had that reaction.
Yeah.
He is Todd Gurley. ACL in college, right? Came in a little slow. Now, Todd Gurley's career, because of his knee cartilage bullshit, he played till he was 26. Todd Gurley had a legendary 4 years. Legendary. Why? He wasn't the fastest guy. He wasn't the best pass catcher. He wasn't the most powerful. He was just good. He was just good. You can give him the ball. He's going to get you 7-8 yards. Get him in space, get you 15 yards.
Yep.
Occasionally bust the 40 yards. He's not going to bust 80-yard touchdowns. He's not Jamal Charles.
And the same thing with Brooks, right? I mean, Brooks will fit in various offensive schemes. He can zip through zone coverage. He can bulldoze over people. He's big enough to do that as well. So there's a ton of upside. Yes, he's not a generational prospect. He is not a top 10 NFL draft pick. But if he goes in the late first, early second, he will have a very solid career in the NFL.
I saw Todd Gurley within 3 plays. I was like, this is fucking Todd Gurley. And I don't know. I mean, that'd be very good. I mean, that's a high-end comp. I didn't really have a low-end comp for him. I just said Todd Gurley.
Poor Todd Gurley.
Poor Todd Gurley. I mean, he's not poor.
No, he's not. Yeah.
He could be. You never know.
Yeah.
Number 2 on the consensus, we're going off PFF, Pro Football Focus, their rankings. Jaylen Wright from Tennessee. He is 5'11", 210. We have a 4.38 40, so he's got the measurables. He's got everything.
Yeah.
Where do you have him?
I've got him 2A and 2 along with somebody else who we'll get to. So he's a combination 2 with me.
So I am at 4.
Okay.
I'm not saying I don't like him, but I'm going to give you my comp real quick.
Good.
Kenneth Walker.
Okay. I had that, but I switched Kenneth Walker to somebody else later on the list. I've got James Cook on my list, and then for low end, Miles Sanders. Very similar in stature, very similar in type of production. A lot of the measurables, the 40, the vertical, the 10-yard, those are all very similar. He's a high-end athlete, right? This guy is a pass catcher. He's a fast guy, but he's not going to be a short yardage back. He just doesn't have that as part of his game. He did very well at Tennessee because of the passing game. It takes a lot of pressure off of the offensive line. He's able to open up holes, and he can really skirt down there. So for me, I like him. I don't think that he'll be drafted at 2. I'm not sure why he's ranked that high for PFF. I've got him at 2 because I think that he will be a strong contributor in his rookie year.
He's at 2 on Draft Buzz as well. So, I mean, it's close.
He has production questions, right? So his last year in Tennessee he wasn't, Jonathon Brooks level production.
Number 3, we have Blake Corum from Michigan. Very tough. Coming off an injury the year before. I believe the ACL was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
He's 5'8", 205, so solid size there. 4'5", 340. His 3-cone was 89th percentile, though. That's a big boy.
You want to guess what his bench press was?
Really good.
95th percentile.
Okay, he's a strong guy.
He's a bowling ball, man.
I know.
I mean, he's got a ton of skills that he brings to the table. It's hard to envision a scenario where he doesn't get picked up in day 3. So he's a round 2, round 3 prospect. There might be some concerns due to his knee injury and the fact that he wasn't called on as terms of a heavy workload player. But the thing is, Michigan didn't need him to be a heavy workload player. They were up so big in the second half. I think I might have actually heard his Heisman stock was the fact that they didn't need to run the ball. They didn't need to run the ball with him last year.
Only on the goal line.
Yes. I mean, I don't remember how he.
So I watched his film from this year, and I was like, I didn't even have him on my list because I was like, this is terrible. All it was goal line touchdowns. And one thing I know about college, A.J. Dillon was a great goal line runner in college. Can't score touchdowns in the NFL. And then I watched the 2022 film pre-ACL, and I saw some longer runs, a little more agility.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. It's good. I have him at 5. You have him at 3?
I've got him at 4.
Okay,
yeah.
So we're both a little lower on him. Who's your comps?
Kenneth Walker for a high end.
Kenneth Walker's really fast, though. That's awful. Kenneth Walker's a 4.3 guy.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but...
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if you're only looking at the 40, I mean,
well,
Kenneth Walker...
the way they play. Kenneth Walker's a home run hitter. This guy's not a home run hitter.
Oh, yes.
What?
Yes, he is. He has. Absolutely. Go back and watch some tape, man. The guy can hit the... He's got afterjets like you wouldn't believe.
Is he playing at the Polo Grounds where everyone's a home run hitter because it's 260 yards?
I'm telling you, he's got open field speed that
really?
you don't see in the gym.
Well, the 40 is 4.5.
No, I get it. It's 61st percentile.
I don't see it, man.
But the shuttle's 83rd percentile. Like
the shuttle is not what we're talking about.
I get it. I'm just saying he's got explosiveness.
I just had to disagree with you.
I understand. But go back. It's Javonte Williams.
Well, that makes more sense.
Okay.
Now, I love Javonte Williams. I don't know what happened to him last year. Injury.
I'm concerned that his knee injury is
never
long-term.
The same. Yeah, because it's bad. It is
unfortunate. He's also in a bad situation. Anyway, who are your comps?
MJD, baby.
Maurice Jones. You want to talk about a bowling ball?
You said bowling ball. I didn't have a comp for him. I was like, now thinking about it, MJD, dude. Super short, super stout, super steady. Right? Now, have you seen MJD now?
No. No, I know he does radio.
He looks like an Eminem.
I have seen it. He
is fucking really round, man. I don't know. I mean, I had to have him on the list just because the pedigree, and I feel like the guy is a grinder, and you could probably find him on Grindr. There's nothing wrong with that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, churn and burn, right? He's going to make the first guy miss, or he's going to bounce. He's going to have somebody bounce off him.
And here's my other comp. Actually, I was thinking of this. Not the way they play, but Austin Eckler. Because Austin Eckler got the most. I've been the biggest Austin Eckler hater ever. But Austin Eckler, his ability has never been good. Really bad breakaway speed. But Austin Eckler is a coach's pet. He's a guy you want on the field. Blake Corum's going to be a guy you want on the field. There might be a guy even better than him, but they're not going to trust him as much.
Probably. I think there are better players than him.
Right.
But I agree. He's going to have some draft capital behind him. He will be a day 2 pick. I'm telling you though, go back and watch a little film. He can hit the hole with burst. He stacks up yards.
So I didn't realize this. PFF has Bucky Irving 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you have him?
I got him at 6.
I have him at 6 as well.
Yeah.
Originally I had him at 5, and I had to switch when I watched 2022 Blake Corum. It's weird because he's 5'9", 195, but he is long speed slow. Not just because of the 40. I think it was a 4.6.
Yeah, 54th percentile. Like, his measurables are terrible. It's terrible.
But you know what he is? He is shifty as fuck. He's pretty sturdy, and you're going to love these comps. Jaylen Warren is the first of the modern comp that came to mind with him. You're going to love this one. Ahmad Bradshaw.
No shit. Look at that right there. Ahmad Bradshaw.
Let's go, dude. That's a deep dive name.
Yeah.
I love Ahmad Bradshaw.
My low is Theo Riddick.
Yeah, it's not good. I also had Darren Sproles, like, upside. You know, like.
Ooh, Sproles. Yeah, Sproles had a nice career.
Darren Sproles, super short. Darren Sproles will get caught from behind all the time.
I mean,
he gets you 30 yards.
That's Bucky Irving's big problem, right? Like,
right, he gets caught from behind.
Long speed is not there, and
Darren Sproles had no long speed, but you know what? You couldn't laterally. There was no one better in the history of the world than Darren Sproles.
Yeah,
couldn't touch him, couldn't see him.
Sproles, man, he had a nose for the end zone.
Man,
and Bucky Irving's got a nose for the end zone.
A good receiver,
yeah.
Right? Like he's a specialist that could work itself into an Austin Eckler role.
You got a team that has a creative offensive mind, a well-designed scheme, a dynamic backfield. He's got a very good. I mean, it's a Gibbs to Montgomery situation, right? He's the Gibbs kind of player.
Yeah. I love you, Ahmad Bradshaw.
Ahmad Bradshaw. That's solid.
That is one of those formidable running backs.
That goes. You're talking about like, what's his name? Who was with Ahmad Bradshaw? Because the Giants always paired Ahmad Bradshaw.
Brandon Jacobs.
Yeah, with Brandon Jacobs, with a bigger guy, right? So,
and there's a couple guys later in this list that can be perfectly paired with Bucky Irving. The thing is, the only problem with Bucky Irving is we know Ahmad Bradshaw was that gamer grinder type. I don't necessarily know if Bucky Irving is. So if he isn't, he's going to always be an ancillary, literally Theo Riddick type.
Yeah, that's my concern.
If he has the Ahmad Bradshaw DNA, he could be a 2-down player. Not 3-down. Second and third, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He can get his 18 touches.
Right.
Which is all you want, right, in the NFL today.
I mean, 18 touches,
I'd
kill for 18 touches a game.
Maybe 15 touches. You wouldn't. You would get killed with 18 touches a game.
Oh, my God. I would die on the first touch.
All right, number 5, Trey Benson. Do you have him?
I've got him at 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't rank him. I would probably have him at 6 or 7.
Okay.
I had a comp for him as Dalvin Cook. I know it's an easy comp out because they both went to Florida State. By the way, Trey Benson, Florida State, 6'1", 223. He ran like a 4.38. Am I right?
Yeah, it's pretty fast. 93rd percentile. It's good. 40th. It's good. Yeah.
He's very, very north-south.
For 223, like that's
the problem is he's north-south.
Very aggressive running style.
But he doesn't have the power that I would expect.
Go back and watch a little more film. I mean, he shakes off a bunch of power.
He shakes off.
Right. Yeah.
But so shaking off in college is
he's shifty. Right. He gets extra yards. He's got really good speed, agility. He's a pretty good pass catcher. He didn't catch very many passes in college, but he does have. I mean, he's got some need for improvement in pass protection, just as an example, which is going to limit his availability on the field. My high-end comp for him is J.K. Dobbins, although J.K. Dobbins was a little smaller. And then my low-end comp is Jonathan Taylor, just because I don't think they pair up very well, but I could see they've got very similar game styles.
Jonathan Taylor, that's heavy hitting.
Yeah.
And then I have a guy, actually I should have brought him up earlier. I have my number 2 isn't even on this list yet.
Who's that?
You ready?
Yeah.
Braelon Allen.
He's my number 3.
Let's go, dude. This fucking guy is a monster. Wisconsin, and which the best part about it is Wisconsin running backs usually come in the league like a cum slut, just destroyed. This guy does not have a lot of tread in his tires. Right? Not a lot of carries.
Dude, he came into the league as a safety, or into the college as a safety. He played two-way in high school. He came in the league. He took over as the over from Isaiah Guerrero as the starting running back when he was 17 years old, and he ran for 145 yards his first game out. He's an absolute beast. I think he's 15 years old right now.
Guerrero, that guy transferred to Louisville, right?
Yeah, he kicked.
You like how I know that?
Yeah, I do like it. Actually, that's very impressive. Isaiah,
6'1", 235, and get this, 4'4". And it's every bit. This is like a Brandon Jacobs type specimen. I should actually have that as one of my comps.
What does that say? What does that say right there?
Brandon
Jacobs.
Come on. We know our shit.
Yeah.
I actually had higher. Mine was Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry.
Okay.
But no, Brandon Jacobs is probably more realistic because we see him down here at prospect 7, 8 in terms of consensus.
Yeah. I don't know why. There's some lingering concerns about his pass catching.
I saw him make some one-handed catches.
Okay, so there was concern from not this past season, the season before. He definitely had some pass catching concerns. He cleaned a lot of that up, and his passing game work was tremendous this year. He didn't get a whole lot of passes, but Wisconsin doesn't really throw the running back very often. So, and we saw that with Jonathan Taylor.
Melvin Gordon.
Everybody said Jonathan Taylor. He's not a pass catcher. He's not a pass catcher.
He's fine.
I saw him make a behind the one and then back into the end zone when he was on Indy.
Yeah.
Like, why weren't they throwing to him?
And with a guy like that, fine is all you need. You don't need exceptional. I'm talking about Darren Sproles. We're talking about Brandon Jacobs level shit. And this guy, now a lot of guys are going to talk about who's the guy from Notre Dame?
Audric Estime.
Okay. Now, I originally had him on like honorable mention list, and then I watched this guy's film. This guy's got a way more versatile game, and he's bigger.
Oh my God.
And faster.
Faster. And
better as a receiver, if that's possible. The other guy has no receiving ability. So, man, I'm glad we got a couple guys here, and this is our guy. I'm planting my flag on this guy. Number 2.
I agree with you. I'm a full flag plant. Give me everything that I can get on Braelon Allen.
Dude.
The some of the concern might be his injury. He did battle injuries last year a little bit. He was kind of in and out of every game. But when you're getting 25 carries a game, you're bound to get nicked up.
Big 10,
a team manages his reps correctly, right? This guy profiles as a 3-down back, a strong fantasy contributor, a strong real-life contributor. I love Braelon Allen.
And we talk about, the Jonathon Brooks possibility of Dallas. This is the guy for Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And, because you got Rico Dowdle, who is going to be the Tony Pollard to Zeke Elliott.
Where's Dallas drafting?
And they're drafting probably 26, 27.
Yeah. I mean, Dallas gets frisky.
Dude, no,
and they
this
take
is not
him.
in the first round.
No, I'm saying they get frisky and they take him at 56 in the second round.
Why not?
Yeah.
The no tread, too, from Wisconsin, all those guys have tread. That's what they do.
Yeah, Melvin
This
Gordon,
guy doesn't
Taylor,
have tread. And, man, I'm so happy you like this guy.
I'm all in.
I have a guy that my number 3 that isn't on this list yet is Marshawn Lloyd.
He's 7 for me. So what do you like about him? Because I got a couple of guys.
So the thing about Marshawn Lloyd is he went to USC, which is hard to evaluate with the Caleb Williams and just that open field craziness they were employing with being down by a bunch of points last year. 5'9", 220. Ran only a 4.46, but I feel like he plays faster.
Was that it? A 4.46?
Yeah, he plays a lot faster than that.
Okay.
Which is, I feel like that's why he's down here.
Yeah.
Because the 4.46, I don't give a fuck.
Measurables aren't that great. He's strong, though. 89th percentile on the
Who are
bench.
your comps before I give you my comps?
DeAndre Swift is my high-end comp.
Okay.
And they're very similar. And then Ty Johnson, who was a bit of a role player in the NFL.
Kappa loved Ty Johnson.
Did he? Nice.
You want to know who the comp is?
Yeah.
A bigger LaShawn McCoy.
Okay.
If you watch him run,
LaShawn
man.
McCoy.
Sometimes he does have the crazy cut all the way across the field thing, which works in college. Actually worked for LaShawn McCoy in the NFL. I see LaShawn McCoy when I watch this guy, and what I love about him that none of these other guys are offering, even Bucky fucking Irving, okay? Bucky fucking Dent, is that I seen, maybe it's a product of Caleb, is that I saw him have multiple go routes where it was an option route, and he took it down the field, down the seam, and caught a 40-yard catch in the air. With his hands, looking like a receiver. You don't see that very often in college, especially from a guy that isn't asked to be a total pass catcher.
No. Because
who is in college anyway?
Myles Gaskin.
Yeah. But I saw that, man, with some of his running ability. I know he's a little small in terms of his size, but he's 220.
He tends to hold the ball a little carelessly, too.
He
So
does.
he's got some stuff to clean up.
Definitely. But as a prospect, I think he's a playmaker. And again, going down the field, there's not many guys.
He's great in open
that can do
field.
that.
He's got some vision problems as well, right? So I've seen plenty of tape where the hole is there and he misses it, flat out misses it, right? So there's opportunity for sure. That's why he's down at 7 for
You
me.
want to know my thinking, though, is that we were talking about how all these guys are kind of bunched, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I put him in the bottom of the bunch in terms of what they're ranking him. But he is the guy that is different than all the rest. That has the ability that I'm sorry, the guy we just talked about, Trey Benson, does not have these abilities. To go down the field and catch 40 yards. Like to be smooth like that and to make the big play. Benson's north-south. This guy has that, but also has more lateral agility. With what I've seen. Holding the ball here, I give you that. But if that's my concern, that's more, you can work on that and shore that up more than the other guy can shore up running a go-round.
So he doesn't profile as a 3-down back, though, in the NFL.
He's 220, though.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm just saying. Dude, did LaShawn McCoy?
No.
But was he?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll tell you what.
Remember the snow game?
Football was better when LaShawn McCoy was
Remember the
playing.
snow game where you had LaShawn McCoy had 38 carries?
Bring me back beast mode, right? Bring me back LaShawn McCoy.
Is there anyone else we didn't talk about that you want to talk about?
Ray Davis. So just to round out my top 10, we mentioned Corum, Benson, Bucky Irving, Marshawn Lloyd, Audric Estime is at 8 for me. My high end for him is Jordan Howard. My low end is a faster Gus Edwards. Will Shipley is 9 for me from Clemson. He profiles very similar to Myles Gaskin for me, but I also see a lot of James White in his
Couldn't
game.
he just be CMC without the rushing ability?
Yes,
That
that's
makes
why.
sense,
That's
like-
I mean, James White, Myles Gaskin, they're pass catchers, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what I see from Will Shipley. So he's going somewhere that needs that. And then a guy that I want people to remember, Ray Davis from Kentucky, outstanding senior year last year or junior year, I guess technically. He was at Vanderbilt, and then he was at somewhere else between Vanderbilt and Kentucky. But yeah, so he had mediocre production his first 2 years. He went to Kentucky. I've got a profile of Maurice Jones-Drew for him because have you seen his film?
No.
Oh, great stuff.
Ball?
Yeah, yes. I mean, let's look at his measurables here. So Ray Davis, he is 5'8", 211,
Like that.
right? So not very fast, 64th percentile 40, 64th percentile bench press. His measurables aren't great, but he's got a nose for the end zone. He's got a physical ceiling. He doesn't have a lot of burst or speed, but he's not a change of pace back. He's not a primary back. He's kind of an in-betweener. So I like Ray Davis. Keep an eye on for him. My low end for him is Jerick McKinnon.
What about your guy, Isaac Garendo, the guy you're talking about?
I got him at 11. So, yeah, I went down to there.
Because you mentioned him.
Yeah, he was
I
great.
didn't realize he's 225.
Yeah,
he plays
he's big.
but he plays like he's 200.
Dude, you watched him in Wisconsin like 2
I
years
just
ago?
watched him in
Yeah.
Louisville.
So, like, there's times when you would mix those two up. If Braelon Allen didn't have 0 as his number.
I can't believe he's 225 with what I watched because
Yeah.
he looked like he's 200. My comp for him,
I don't know if he slimmed down, but in Wisconsin, he was a big boy.
My comp for him was Chase Brown.
Mm.
When I watched the Louisville tape, I was like, this is Chase Brown, which, when given the opportunity with the Bengals, did pretty well. I like Chase Brown coming out of Illinois. Also, you were coming off the Joe Mixon, injured Joe Mixon, old Joe Mixon, not being able to move Joe Mixon. So when you saw a younger guy, it was a Tony Pollard to Zeke thing. It's like, oh, this guy can move. But Chase Brown's super fast. This guy's super fast.
Yeah, he's fast.
Just a guy to keep an eye on. I don't know about him. That was another shout out to Alec Baldwin. He told me about him. So
No, I'll give the folks a sleeper as well. Somebody that I think can be a contributor for fantasy, Kamani Vidal out of Troy. You heard of this guy?
Kamani Vidal. It sounds like a terrorist or something.
Yeah.
What's his ethnicity?
So my comp for him is Chuba Hubbard. So just a guy to keep an eye on. I don't have him very high, but there's a strong possibility that he could work himself into an every down role, not an every down role, but in like a every game kind of role. So like an 8 to 10 touch player.
Oh yeah. All right.
Cool.
And it's been a complete joy.